Hello, guys. Welcome to our second episode of our brand new season called Becoming That Girl. So, in last week's episode, we spoke about what being that girl truly means to us, the characteristics of that girl, the do's and don'ts, steps on becoming that girl, steps on becoming your best self, and so much more. So, if you haven't checked that episode out, please make sure that you go back, listen to our first episode before you listen to this episode. It is a season, it is a series for a reason. But in this episode titled Everything is Not What It Seems, which kind of gives me that nostalgia of everything is not what it seems from Wizards of Waverly Place. I think we said we wanted that. Can we make that song our intro to this episode?
Not the Wizard of Waverly, not Disney Channel.
Yes, we may have to make that song our intro to this episode, y'all, because everything is really not what it seems. And in this episode, we will mainly be diving into the topic of social media and how looks can be very deceiving. In our journey of becoming that girl, we want to make sure that we are utilizing social media in a very healthy way, but we also want to make sure that we're debunking the facade that's often portrayed on social media. It'd be a whole lot of fake stuff going on. So we're going to get all into it in this episode. Sabine is going to kick off this great conversation. I'm super excited. I feel like this is just such a well-needed episode in our generation in this time. So we hope that you all enjoy it as much as we are going to enjoy talking about it. All right. So Sabine, let's get into it. We have a lot to unpack. Okay. So please start us off.
All right. So I'm going to drop a quote to start off the episode. You can love the life they show, but not the life they live. Now, I feel like many people look up to influencers due to the lifestyle that they choose to show. For instance, we love a little Jada. We love a little Ari. Who's another one who's big? I guess Taina.
Des is popping right now.
Des is big popping right now. Okay, so those are the girls right now. They I guess you could say, that girl right now, especially for our generation. And I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of these influencers, they're making a good living and can provide the lifestyle they desire. But half of these influencers, we don't even know what they're doing behind the scenes because whatever they're showing on the gram, we don't even know how they got it. So I'm just saying, people live for the gram nowadays, and you never know what's real or not. And I feel like, personally, I can't look up to these influencers. I'm not the type to really repost influencers' pictures, because first of all, they not my friend. Second, on top of that, I ain't gonna lie, I like nice things. I admire their lifestyle. I ain't gonna lie, Jada got some cute stuff. Des got some cute fits. Hey, if I got money, shoot, I'm gonna show the store clerk, hey, this is what I need, give me this, whatever. But I could admire what somebody has, but I will never aspire to be that person. And I feel like nowadays, people just trying to aspire to do those things and try to be those girls. Each girl is different. Everybody is their own person. Individual. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. But being your own individual, being your own individual, that's key to life. You don't have to follow others. You don't have to follow the trend. Like, these people here, like, at the end of the day, it's social media. Like, people post whatever they want to post, and people choose what they want to post. Like, at the end of the day, there's many filters, there's many Photoshop ads, hey, Adobe, all that. Like, people can make it altered, so you don't really know what's behind the scenes. And I feel like nowadays, people just, that's all they want to be. That's what they aspire. Like, I know people, my cousin, she's a teacher in DC, and her students say, I want to be an influencer when I grow up. This is the new thing nowadays. Like, I want to be an influencer, which is nothing wrong. Like, hey, if you want to influence somebody, that's what you want to do. But remember, don't just do it because the lifestyle that they choose to show. Remember, you never know behind the scenes. But ain't nothing wrong liking luxury items. Like, hey, I like my little black girl's luxury life. Hey, I want to live like that too. Nothing wrong admiring it. But remember, never envy what somebody has, because you never know what's going on behind the scenes. And nowadays, people just post for the gram. You never even know what's going on. So my question for you guys, do you guys believe that people live for the gram for a sense of confidence?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's one thing to get compliments from people you know, and it's another thing to get compliments from random strangers. And it does a little bit of like a confidence boost, or like, okay, whatever, like somebody else thinks I'm popping, or somebody else thinks, I'm cute, or whatever I got going on is cool. So I think it can give a sense of confidence boost, yes, but I think where it gets dangerous is when you look for validation through these people, validation through people you don't even know, you probably ain't never seen before, and maybe you just kiki on the side, but they don't really know you for real. So yeah, I think it gives confidence, but getting validation from those people is when it gets dangerous.
Agreed. I feel like the way that people post on Instagram is, 1, validation, 2, confidence, but 3, I feel like it's to prove a point to people that they really shouldn't be like proving a point to. Like, a lot of people post to prove points, and I mean in a sense of like when people post like stacks of money for no reason to prove that they're not broke, or they make a tweet to prove something that just didn't need to be said, or what I'm saying, you're posting on Instagram flossing, and what I'm saying, just to prove that point that like you're trying to portray somebody that you're really not, because if you really were that person, then it wouldn't have to be like a flex thing. And I'm not saying that everyone on Instagram who posts nice outfits or nice things is flexing, but I do feel like there are people who literally post on Instagram to flex, to prove a point to people that they got it. And you can kind of tell, like you could just tell, like you could tell a person's post where it's just like a genuine nice photo, or what I'm saying, it's just like, wow, like this was really cute, or like, ooh, her outfit is bomb with that bag. Like their point to post was to show style, fashion, inspiration, versus those people that just kind of post and it's like, what is going on? Like it's a whole lot in this photo. Like what is the purpose? And I feel like Instagram now is trying to push people whose accounts are more purposeful, and we're going to get into that later, but I think Instagram is now seeing like, okay, some of these people are just posting just to like act like they're somebody that they're not, versus a genuine purposeful post. So I think that's what it is. Everyone's trying to prove a point. They're not broke, they're not struggling, it's such a perfect life. And in reality, it's like, baby girl, baby boy, you do not need to be proving nothing to nobody but God. We are not the decision makers 100%. At the end of the day. You do not have to prove yourself to me. You do not have to try to be somebody that you're not to me. I could care less, personally. So, yeah.
And you brought that up, Kaylin, about people trying to prove things to other people. My dad and my mom actually always taught me and my brothers to have the mindset of the white t-shirt, blue jeans. So I mean that by, I have been in multiple places with people that have money. Most of the time they're white. And this is where my dad got the white shirt, blue jeans kind of saying from. But a lot of the people essentially that have the money don't flaunt it. That have a lot, that are very, very wealthy, you wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't even be able to spot them out in a room. But it's the people that, are going the extra mile, keeping up with the Joneses, that could potentially be broke. And I'm not saying that that's for everybody, because there's people that can be dripped out and still have the money and the bank statements and the whatever to, back them up. But having that mindset, it's like a humble mindset, not everything has to be boom, 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 and I think that's what a lot of people are. Boom, boom, boom. So white t-shirt, blue jeans mentality is something to think about.
We love that. White t-shirt, blue jeans.
I like that, because that's true. Not everybody, like, hey, you got a little design. Ain't nothing wrong with design. I feel like people nowadays, they too scared to post designer, because now it's like, I don't want people to think I'm flaunting too much. Like, if you got it, you got it. You like nice things. Hey, you want to drop a band on a bag? That's your business. But don't feel scared to post it. Like, you shouldn't feel scared. Like, at the end of the day, it's your social media. It's your Instagram. Like, you shouldn't care what people think. Like, if you like it and it goes well with your outfit, shoot, wear it. Don't feel scared. Like, we're not trying to say you don't got to flaunt it. Hey, girl, you got a nice little chrome heart sweatshirt. Girl, wear it. It looks nice with your fit. You look cute today. Post it. What's wrong with that? Like, ain't nothing wrong having money. I feel like people have that stigma. Like, ain't nothing wrong having money. So, you got it. Shoot. You want to wear it, that's your business. But also remember, be your own person and also be humble. Because you never just want to flaunt just to show you got it. Because those people, I always say, you never know behind the scenes. And trust me, half of these things are not even real if we really want to talk about it. But that's another discussion for another day.
It is. And it's important to picking and choosing, and Kaylin's going to talk about that a little later, but you know, the toxic influencers and the not toxic influencers. There was a study, it was done last year, and it says that there's around 3.6 billion people that have social media accounts and are active on these social media accounts. So, in retrospect, that is a lot of people using social media every day that have access to social media and looking at the lives of other people. You know, many times social media can encourage other people, but many times it can create this internal timeline that you got to feel like you got to put your timeline here, their timeline here. And if you're not matching it up, you're doing it wrong. Or if you're not here, you're behind schedule. By 21, I have to have a Birkin, my own apartment, shark boots, stacks on racks on stacks. And if I don't, I'm a failure. And that's, I feel like, what our generation has implemented in their brain because they've seen people that do have that stuff. And like Sabine said, we aren't trying to say that if you do have this stuff that, oh, you're wrong for posting it, you're this, you're that. That's not the case, because shoot, girl, you got it, do it. But it's the people that might not have that, because that life is an above average life. And there's a lot of people our age living an average life, which is okay. You 21 years old, 2018, 19, 22, whatever. It's okay to be living an average life. You could still live an average life and be that girl. So don't think that you have to have the drip, the designer, the 40-inch wig swinging and hanging, going around, changing your wig every single day. That's not it. That's not the case. And I think being out in New York, especially being out in general, because this whole quarantine, I was chilling at home with my parents. I was in the 40-year-old club. I was hanging with them every day. So, you know, I just wasn't really going out. And now that I'm back at school, I'm out, I'm seeing people more in person, and we go to this lounge sometimes. I'm not gonna disclose it, but we go to this lounge, and you know, people are dripped out in there. Sometimes you got the girls with the wigs and the nice outfits. I'm talking Chanel shoes, Balenciaga bag, Chrome Hearts jacket, and they walking around like $10,000-$15,000. And I want to ask you guys, sometimes when you're in situations like that or rooms like that, or even scrolling through Instagram, and you know these people are around your same age group, are you kind of like internally comparing yourself, like, wait a minute, I would look good in that too, like, why don't I have that? Or shoot, you know, have you ever felt that way?
Yes. I mean, I feel like now when it comes to New York and I see like females like that, 9 times out of 10 I already know what's really going on. So I don't tend to compare myself to people like that. PPP boy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shine. So it's like 9 times out of 10, because I know this, but I mean, it's common to compare yourself, even if you're not familiar with like the culture and what tends to go on and how people tend to get the things that they get. You can't compare yourself, but I just think comparing is so common in general. You can see someone on Instagram, you can see a TikToker when you're scrolling on TikTok, a girl who is in a similar situation as you as far as age, city, ethnicity, and you're kind of just like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I need to step my game up. I need to get this together. I need to start getting in my bag. And it's a very fine line between like comparing and like inspiration. And I think it's something that I've struggled with, and it's something that I feel like we all have struggled with, and it's something that you have to kind of learn to get out of. It's really like a mindset kind of thing. Like, you see something and it's quick to compare. It's quick to, why not me? It's quick to, what do I need to do? Opposed to, wow, like, she really doing her thing. I'm proud of her. I wonder what it is that she does. I wonder if this is something I'm interested in. I wonder if this is something I can start making money off of. You know what I'm saying? So I'm now at a place where I try to turn that comparing and contrasting to inspiration, and also to just remind myself everyone is on their own journey. Everyone's doing their own thing. Like, you don't even know what it took for them to get there, and everything is not what it seems, literally the title of our episode. So yes, definitely have been there, done that, and I'm now at a place where I'm trying to turn it into something else.
Yeah, honestly, first of all, born and raised in New York, I feel like that's just the girl code in general, okay? Just being a girl in New York, it's a lot of pressure. I feel like it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of competition on top of that, because every girl got the latest designer, the latest hair, latest lashes, all that. So I ain't gonna lie, I've been in the room, like, me personally, like, if you know me in person, I like to have a little nice things. I got a little little flex, little here and there, but I don't like to be too crazy because, you know, it's just the lifestyle in New York, okay? Just being a New York female, you gotta look good, especially we known to being tough. We gotta be the pretty tough girls on top of that. And I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, especially the lounge that, you know, that Kiaran and Kaylin, all of us go to. I've seen it myself. I've seen girls coming into the lounge like, girl, this is a regular lounge. You do not need to be wearing these Chanel sneakers. Girl, you could have wore some ones, a little graphic tee, little jeans, call it a night. But hey, that's everybody's business. And also New York is just like, it's just New York City. It's fashion. It's the fashion mecca right now in America, you know, in general. So New York is just fashion. On top of that, streetwear is just a big thing. So I feel like it's an extra pressure on us. And on top of that, it's just like Fifth Ave and these stores like that. It's just like, it's just put onto us. And I feel like us being us New Yorkers, we just like nice things. And I feel like there's a stigma in New Yorkers. There's no celebs in New York. Everybody in New York is a celeb. We don't believe in celebrities. We don't care for celebrity sightings. We are our own celebs. So I feel like that's one thing I could say. We don't care about these celebrities. We are our own celebrities. So, hey, if you got nice things, let me have nice things too. So, I ain't gonna lie. I've been in the spot where I'm just like, ooh, that's a nice jacket. Shoot, like, I ain't gonna lie. I would body that jacket too. But, you know, as I'm getting older, I don't let that bother me. Because at the end of the day, like, I know I'm going to get it at the end of the day. I don't have to get that exact jacket, but I know what kind of person I am. And I already know I don't need designer to look good at the end of the day. I could go to Zara and get that same replica and do my own thing. And I ain't going to lie, like, for instance, not even just New York in general, but just like, for instance, Des and Jada. I like their outfits. I really do. But sometimes I don't have to buy what they exactly got. I could replica, do inspiration. I could do inspiration photos, but I don't really have to follow the trend. And I feel like that's the issue nowadays. Every girl, especially our age group, especially the 21s and the 20s, I feel like we're getting hit the hardest. It's a lot of pressure. Like, everyone nowadays, 21, 20, apartment, Birkins, wigs. It's just like, damn, where y'all be at? Because I'm trying to know where y'all be at. But at the end of the day, everybody's on their own journey. So everybody's going to win at the end of the day. And you don't have to follow everybody.
It's all in due time. Like, honestly, people have to learn to run their own race. All of that stuff is nice. It's sweet. It's nice. It's beautiful. All of that. And I even, like you guys, have caught myself looking at other people and be like, well, dang. Or like, we always talk about Jada, but she's like one of those people that has a lot of material things and is in our age bracket. And you could look at her and be like, wow, like she buys this, buys that, and has all this stuff. And you're like 2 years older than me, a year older than me. So sometimes you can find yourself comparing, but you just have to remember, you know, use social media and these influencers. It is okay to follow them. It's okay to follow the Shade Room. It's okay to follow all these things. Try your best not to internalize them. Don't create a timeline. Run your own race. All of this can come in due time if you're willing to, you know, if you want it, and if you're willing to put the work and the effort to be able to get those things. And you never know how these people are getting their things. They can be gifts, you guys. They can be from that illegal church. They can be from whatever. You don't know. So run your own race. It will come to you in due time if it's something that you need. But always remember too, you can't take the materialistic stuff with you. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to obtain all of these things. It's okay.
Literally, it's okay. And honestly, like, to second on the gifting, and like, you do not know how people are getting this stuff. Like, I have a couple flicks on Instagram, and half of the stuff I promise I didn't buy. Like, literally, just being super transparent. Like, a lot of stuff can be gifts, a lot of stuff can be, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many possibilities. Like, you don't know how to differentiate between what someone bought with their own money versus what they didn't buy with their own money, because they're not literally posting, by the way, I bought this bag with my own, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't know how people are making it shake, and you don't want to put so much pressure on yourself to make sure that you're doing the same thing. So at the end of the day, like, don't pressure yourself. And it's something that we have to remind ourselves, because we get put under the same exact pressure. Promise you guys. Like, we are not speaking from a place of like so above and like so like past this. No, like, we're 21 years old, seniors in college, about to approach life, and a lot of the things that we are faced with makes us feel the heat, makes us feel the pressure, makes us feel the pressure of get it together, get your bag up, get your money up, because you want to be in the same position. And yeah, it's inspiring. Yeah, it motivates you. But if you do not take a step back and really evaluate and understand not to internalize these things or not to compare timelines, then it will result in you being in a really dark place. And on our journey of becoming that girl, which is what our season is all about, we want to make sure that we are filtering out these things, filtering out good influencers versus influencers where it's a little questionable how they making things shake. And you don't want to be following and looking up to people that are living fake lives, are getting their money in ways that you would never get your money in. You know what I mean? Follow those people whose morals align with your morals. I've came across a couple influencers that I loved and that I would look up to. Ooh, girl, I like your outfit. And then I find out some stuff about them, and I find out how they moving and grooving and how they're making ends meet. And I'm like, whoa, like, I would never do that for some change. Like, 100%. I would never go that far to get a bag and look good. So I think that's what it all comes down to. Following those people whose morals really align with your morals. And now that we've kind of been through the facades, how people portray themselves on social media, how people are really getting money versus not, how to avoid keeping up with the Joneses, we want to now get into some good influencers to look up to, how to kind of like clear out your social media, detox your social media feed. That's literally what we want to end off with. So there's a couple influencers that I really like and I really admire. B. Simone is like the first one that comes to my head. I just feel like her grind is really unmatched. I was following her for a minute, and she went through some things with her career as far as like her book and everything. I don't know if that was her fault, but I just feel like her grind to continue to improve herself, her grind to be able to make it to where she is now is so inspiring. And she's just so real and authentic. Like, if you were to go on her Instagram right now, she probably has a video of her talking about something real, and you know what I'm saying? You can just see her growth. Like, you see the work that she's put in, and it's just very authentic. Jackie Ann is another influencer that's just very, very inspirational. You see her grind, you see her grind, you see her work ethic, where she came from versus where she's at, and what it took to get there. Aaliyah J is somebody else. I know, Sabine, you really love Aaliyah J, but Aaliyah J is somebody else. Like, somebody who's been in the game for years. You see their work ethic. You see those daily, weekly uploads. You see them working their ASS off. And they're authentic too. She's authentic. She's going to tell you what her boyfriend got her. She's going to tell you, like, you know what I'm saying? She's going to let you know what's really going on. And there's countless influencers. I can go on and on and on about how many influencers there are out there who are just inspiring and are real and are authentic about their journeys and are so motivational to their followers, expressing to their followers what it takes to get to where they got to. So I first want to ask y'all, what are some influencers that y'all like to look up to? What are some influencers that y'all follow and y'all are just like, I love them so much. She inspires me. Every time I see a post on her timeline, I just feel so refreshed, because that's what we want to go with. We want to look at our timeline and feel refreshed. We don't want to look at our timeline and feel drained and feel like, oh my God, I need to get it together. So who are some influencers that y'all are following right now, or that y'all really admire, that y'all feel like are just such a positive influence?
Of course, I ain't gonna say Leah J. I've been following Leah J since high school, even before she had the Leah J now. So I've been following her since the YouTube days. So I'm really proud of her. She's just doing her thing. I could say second, what's her name? She's also from New York. Her name is like Anaya Later or something like that.
Annihilator.
She is,
I know you're talking about.
yeah, so I've been following her for a minute. She be posting her motivational quotes. She be posting Bible quotes as well. She be posting some styling tips. She's very to herself. Like, she's not all into the mix and everything. And also, last, even though she didn't be posting motivational stuff, but I do like De'Ara. De'Ara be really keeping to herself. Especially she lives in Atlanta. I would think she would be with Jada and all them. She would be with Tay, all that crew. But she just really sticks to herself. Especially, she never speaks out on anything. Especially all the stuff that she been through. You would think she would talk or be a social media little troll and all that, but she really keeps to herself, and I like the way that she does. Like, she just posts, take pictures, be with her family, friends, and just post for Instagram. She's not really living for others, and I really like that about her.
Yeah, she's somebody who, like, is very unique and is unapologetically them. And I feel like the thing with De'Ara's influence is, like, she uses Instagram to, like, post her pictures. She loves to dress. She expresses herself, like, through fashion a lot. But I also feel like you're able to see her grind and where she came from based on YouTube. Like, her grind and her and Ken's grind was really like no other. Like, how many times they uploaded, the way they built their foundation, like, it's ridiculous. So I feel like she's also somebody that's great to look up to because you can physically see, like, all the work that she's put in and why she is where she is.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. I think another one, and I like the thing that you said about Instagram and YouTube. I think a lot of times it's hard for people to gain influencers' personality on Instagram because it is so photo based. And my two they're YouTubers, Aaliyah's Face and Kyra Unique. I literally love, love, love them. I think Aaliyah's Face and Kyra both have tremendous work ethics. They post all the time. They're going to be real if their week isn't good. They're going to be real if something's off, if their skin's not looking right one week, or they're just in a bad mood, or they got upset by something. Like, I think YouTube is where I am able to gain the personalities of these certain, like, influencers, and those are two girls that are in or women, I guess you can say, that are in our age range. If they're still in their 20s and they're doing it, they are just doing it. They got the boyfriends that, have their own life. They have their separate lives. They both come together and they, are like power couple types. They don't express who they date, but in a sense to where they're not like, their life isn't funded by their boyfriend, if that makes sense. Like, they're just girl bossing it up, doing their thing. Yeah. So they're two girls that I look up to because I look up to their work ethic because I just love watching them and love seeing them do their thing. So yeah, I definitely like them a lot.
Yeah. And it's just important to follow people who kind of are involved in what it is that you want to be involved in. I think that's another important factor. Like, there's nothing wrong with following people on social media that are not really doing what it is that you want to do, but when you're following someone that you could see as your mentor, that's where you get the inspiration, and that's when you can look at your feed and feel so refreshed and feel so inspired. This one influencer that I actually had the pleasure of working with over the summer and meeting and has become like a mentor to me. Her name is Bree. I was following her for like 3 years. She lived in Atlanta, was a host at a station that I've always wanted to work with and for, that I actually ended up interning for, which is crazy. But she was this host. She was in Atlanta doing her thing, red carpet events, all types of stuff. She literally portrayed the type of person that I was just like, yes, I see myself being this kind of person in my mid-20s, thriving in my career. And I just was following her from her motivational videos. She was just so inspiring. These are the kind of people, too, that eventually you can reach out to. I ended up emailing her, letting her know, like, I truly looked up to you. You really inspired me. I would love to work with you. This is what I do. Like, that's kind of how you can broaden your network too. And you'll be surprised by if you follow these people who are literally in your career field, who are doing the things that you want to do. Maybe not directly because everyone's on their own path, but very similar to. They may want to work with you. People are open to mentorship. People love putting people on, especially if they truly are inspiring and they are what they portray themselves to be, which 9 times out of 10 they are. They will be down to work with you. They will be down to truly help you evolve into what it is that you want to do. And they'll be down to give you the scoop on the industry that you want to inspire to be in. And I just feel like that's another reason why it's so important to kind of, follow those people where you can kind of see yourself end up where they are. So now that we got into that, I hope that y'all took note of some of the people that we said we look up to. I think now it's important for us to talk about how to utilize social media to your advantage. When you're trying to become that girl, your brand is everything. The way you portray yourself is everything. And we kind of touched on this last episode, but not when it really came to social media. So one, if you're becoming that girl, you want to become your best self, and being an influencer is something that you really want to do. I first recommend that you create as much content as you consume. Period. I really feel that you should create more content than you consume. If you envision yourself being an influencer, a YouTuber, you need to be dropping as many YouTube videos as you're watching. It's a good way for you to just stay on your toes and stay productive with what it is that you want to do. Regardless of you like consuming positive content, inspiring content, motivating content, it's still easy to get lost in that loop. I find myself watching like motivational videos, but then I'll just watch 2 more and then 3 more. And then I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Like, I got to get out of this loop and actually apply what it is that I'm learning to my own life. It doesn't help out if you're just consuming inspirational content, but you're not putting in the work to really become what it is that you're trying to inspire or motivate yourself to be. So a tip of mine, and a tip that I always hear people say, is just as much content as you consume, you should be creating. And if you get into a spot where you're like literally consuming way more content than you're pushing out, then you're already behind. So challenge yourself. You ever find yourself scrolling on Instagram too much? Make a reel, post a cute picture, do a story poll, do something. You shouldn't be on an app and you haven't even pushed out content on that app, especially if that's something that you really want to do. Now, if becoming an influencer is not something that you want to do, because not everyone wants to become an influencer, social media is still important, especially when you're wanting to become your best self, becoming that girl. Before you post something, before you tweet something, and I know this is so old school, and my mom always used to tell me this growing up, but it's literally like, it's a fact. Ask yourself what an employer, what a brand, what a company would think of you if they were to come across this post. What would they perceive you as based off of this post? And I know it's not fair. I know, like Kiarn mentioned earlier, you can't really tell someone's personality based off of the pictures they post or based off of the things that they tweet or they like, etc. But this is how the world works now. Sometimes all people have is your social media, is your Twitter name, is your YouTube. So what are they going to perceive, and what kind of person are they going to think you are based off of your post? It's important to ask yourself that. We're grown now. Our parents 9 times out of 10 are not on our Instagrams, are not telling us what we need to be posting, what we don't need to be posting. And that still doesn't give us a pass to just do whatever we want to do and present ourselves in any type of way. When you're becoming that girl, you want to make sure that your brand and your image directly correlates to what it is that you want to be perceived as. Period. Now, it ain't nothing wrong with showing off what God blessed you with and what your mama gave you. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for body positivity, but there is a fine line. And ladies, we know what that fine line is. And all I'm saying is, do not cross that line unless you want to be perceived as such. Point blank, period. You don't want to end up in a place where you're trying to be like all these other influencers that are taking these pictures and you don't see nothing wrong with it because everyone's doing it on Instagram. You are not everybody, and you don't know behind the scenes what half of these girls are doing. 9 times out of 10, if they portraying that type of image, you should understand why. They may not be talking publicly about what it is that they're doing behind closed doors, but trust and believe it could be something going on if all you see on a page is very just sensual type of photos. You do not have to do that. I honestly, like, I can go on and on about this, but image branding is so important when it comes to becoming that girl. You want to make sure that your image is clean and crisp. So what are some ways that y'all make sure that you are portraying a good image, a good message on social media? And have y'all ever felt yourselves kind of battling like, should I post this? Should I not? Like, what are some ways that y'all, one, make sure that your image is nice and clean, but what have been some times where you were just like kind of iffy and you wanted to post something but you didn't? So what are some ways? Let's talk about it.
I always like to have the quote, once you're on social media, you're in a fishbowl. So everybody can see what you're doing, whatever you post. So honestly, I feel like growing up, it took time for me to understand the concept of social media, especially the field that I want to get into. So it's not easy. It's not easy because, hey, like, if you're just someone that just likes to post whatever you want to post, that's your business. At the end of the day, it's your social media and it's your account. And you could take the consequences. That's your decision. But at the end of the day, I have my times. I ain't gonna lie. Like me, I have my little close friends. I have a little to myself. I keep it a little minimal so my friends really know my personality. But also on like the regular social media on Instagram, I try not to post anything crazy or anything negative towards somebody, or just, I'm not really that kind of person. I'm just more like, hey, I post something that's either a quote, posting a friend's photo, or just really posting something that's just beneficial for other people on my social media. So it's just, honestly, you know how your parents always teach you, think before you speak? Nowadays, is think before you post. So just think of what's going to come with it. So when you post it, just know you posted it, and now it's there, and it's on the internet, because the internet stays forever. So just remember, what comes to that, you know you did that. So just sit there and think, like, if I post it, am I going to get in trouble? Is this going to affect me in the long run? Is this going to hurt me, damage my brand? Also, just have these questions. And also, if you like to chat, hey, I'm a ranter. I like to rant. Hey, but do it privately. And also make sure you have a close circle, because not everybody you could trust. Because you can't always put everybody in your close circle. I'm so happy Instagram has close friends. I love my close friends, but be wise who you put in your close friends as well, because you can't trust everybody.
Yeah, I think because I do have a platform of people that I don't know, a good amount of people that I don't know, I definitely do try and portray myself the same way I portray myself in real life. You know, I try and, portray myself as a ladylike girl, still young, still, like to have fun. So I might post a little story of myself in the club or something, like whatever I'm doing, but I still always want to portray myself as a lady. So I think that's the main thing that I like to put over to my social media. Now, when I was doing the Savage X Fenty stuff, that was probably the most risque I've ever been on social media, because I was showing my goods. And I noticed from that time, it was 6 months, and I started to attract a different crowd. I started to attract guys, older guys, younger guys, my age. And it was the type of attraction that it was just not, I didn't like it, because I knew it was coming solely from a lust place. Not like seeing me covered up maybe in a sweater and some pants and be like, ooh, she looks so pretty. It was me in lingerie and be like, ooh, you this, and that. So that's probably something that I would never do again, only because I didn't like the response that I got from it. And my mom has always taught me, leave room for imagination. And when you're posting with all your goods out, there's no imagination. They see everything, So that kind of thing. Just portraying myself in the most ladylike way possible. Everybody's watching. Honestly, like Sabine said, like, it's official. You don't have to follow somebody just to see what they got going on. People make fake pages. People will watch your stuff knowing good and well their name is going to pop up. They don't care. Employers, potential, whatever. So presenting yourself on social media as a way that you should want to present yourself in a nice way, regardless if it's on social media. But especially on social media, that is literally a flashlight posted at you and you got everything shown. And I've never been the type to post everything on social media. I think that's doing too much. Like, the people that will post this, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way. Ooh, I'm so da-da-da-da. Like, to me, come on, utilize that close friends. Or text your friends, vent to somebody, anybody that you can trust, vent to them, because not everybody needs to know your business. And when you put all your business out there on social media, you're allowing people to just be in your life. Another thing too is not everybody needs to know when you're mad or when you're sad, or certain things just, they don't got to be on there. Social media is something that doesn't need to have all your business. So portray yourself in a way that you would want somebody to see you, and vice versa, like in real person and on social media. Being that girl is holding yourself, to a standard to where I gotta, put yourself on that pedestal, girl, and really just, hold your head high and present yourself in a way that you would want anybody to see you. Your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, anybody. But yeah, you guys, that is going to wrap up episode 2. We hope you guys enjoyed everything. You guys, we're getting there. You know, this is like chapter 2 of becoming that girl. You guys, we are laying out the blueprint, and just as you guys are on your journey to becoming that girl, we are as well. There's always room for leveling up and just, you know, becoming your better self. But thank you guys so much for tuning in again. We want you guys to follow us on K Squared Pod to stay up to date with all things K Squared. We love you guys, and we will see you next Friday. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.